My name is Queen Okafor. I'm a social worker here at Latrobe Housing Agency. Here with me is Tim Bennett. Tim has been referred by Salvation Army. Tim is a 41-year-old single man who is unemployed and has just recently been released from prison. Tim's mom passed away 15 years ago, and then through a car accident in a car Tim was driving, and that was still the same year Tim last had contact with his dad, but he has intermittent contact with his older siblings, Julia and Christopher. Tim dabbled into alcohol and drug misuse after the mom passed, and then he was convicted for reckless driving, causing death, and was sentenced to 8 years in prison. While in prison, Tim studied, got a degree in accounting, and then assessed detox rehabilitation and remained sober for 10 years. Tim has been referred, and I've had 3 sections with Tim. In our previous sections, we explored the feelings and thoughts Tim has been having. Tim is feeling hopeless, as if he's feeding into societal stereotype, saying that he's feeling as if he's becoming what his dad said he will be. The negative impression the dad has about him, and then all this has been impacting Tim. So I felt Tim has internalized this dominant narrative, and they have been affecting him. So that prompted the use of narrative approach to help Tim question the source of all this narrative, and then help him to see if he can reauthor his stories using his values and then preferred identity. So today we'll continue to, today is our 4th section. I've had 3 sections with Tim before. Today is our 4th section, and we hope to continue with using narrative approach. Hi Tim, good to see you. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks.
Yeah, good to see you again. If you remember, during our last section last week, we started narrative approach to the issues, to the concerns you raised. How did you feel after our last section?
Yeah, I actually, I felt relieved because you asked me the question about like what my mom would think of me now, and I think there is that lot of pain when I think about how she died, but thinking about her voice and what she'd say about my life now, it really made an impact on me. So I actually you sort of left me with that question of what would she think of me now? And I thought she'd really be sad that me and my dad aren't in any kind of contact. And so, yeah, after our last session, I rang up my sister to see, because she sees dad every Sunday. And so I said, what would she think how would it go over if I called him? So she checked it out with him, and she told me on Monday, she said she thinks dad is going to be okay if I call him. So yeah, so I tried yesterday. I tried giving him a call, and I don't know if the line cut out or if he heard my voice and hung up or what, but yeah, I heard him say hello, and I said dad, and then went dead. So it's been really hard. So it was look, I really like the questions that you're asking me, but I sort of feel back in the same spot as I was, in terms of just feels like it's all on top of me,
That must have been a difficult moment for you.
Yeah.
Having to ring dad and then the phone just hung up like that.
Yeah, it's awful. I haven't done that. I wrote him twice from prison, but I didn't hear back, but this is the first time I've tried calling him in 15 years. So it was, it was big. And this is not how I hoped it would go. Maybe it's what I should have expected, I don't know, but yeah.
So sorry to hear that happened. So when that happened, how did you feel? How did that make you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it makes me feel first like confused, like what was Julia thinking, you know? Like did she really talk to him? Did she is she lying to me? Is she trying to set me up?
Yeah.
Or you know, but that's not like her, I don't think. Like, I don't know, we're not as close as we used to be, but like, it's not like who she used to be anyway. She wouldn't do that to me, I don't think. But then I just don't know how to make sense of it. So just thinking, and then I just start thinking again, like, man, I'm stupid for thinking that this is going to work out. Like, I barely want to talk to myself some days. What am I thinking that Dad's going to want to talk to me? So, yeah, makes me feel pretty shit, honestly.
I know that must have been a difficult moment for you.
Yeah.
So, why would you think that your dad wouldn't want to talk to you?
Well, just because of what happened to Mom, you know, I think he blames me. I blame me. The law blamed me, you know, like it was my fault. So it just is that guilt all over again. I don't know if I'm ever going to get rid of it.
Like the feeling of guilt
and blame. Like I think he blames me. I know he blames me for her death. It was my fault. It was driving stupid.
From what I just said, I'm hearing you're feeling guilty for how your mom passed because you were the one who was driving the car.
Yeah.
And then you feel maybe your dad is also blaming you. Is that correct?
Yeah. It's just, I mean, Dad, me. I mean, like, thankfully my sister wants to talk to me, and my brother's been pretty supportive since I got out as well. But I mean, it just feels like it's a really big burden to carry, you know, being responsible for her death.
That must have been a very like a heavy burden on you.
It is, it's like a big weight on my shoulders. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get rid of it.
So this big weight on your shoulder, this feeling like a heavy burden, like if you had to give it a name, what do you think, or what kind of name do you think you can give it?
Like the rock or the boulder, like it's huge, you know? Something big and heavy like that.
Okay. You give it like a name like a rock.
Yeah.
To show how heavy it is.
Yeah, just weighing me down.
So how does that, so this big rock, how has it been impacting your life?
Well, you know, I think it stops me from doing things, for sure. You know, like, I mean, I did have the thought when I called my dad yesterday, I did have the thought like, oh, like, you know, maybe the line cut out, like, you know, he doesn't, I don't know if he has, I assume he doesn't have my number. So, you know, like when, you know, when you get calls from a number you don't know, and then if you answer and there's a little bit of silence, you just assume it's like a spam call. I always hang up. And so it did take me a while to say, you know, Dad, it was a shock to hear his voice after all these years. And so I did have the thought like, oh, you know, like what if he thought it was a spam call, or should I try again? And then I just thought, it just felt like it's all on top of me. And it just, like that weight of things, it stopped me from calling him. I didn't try again, you know.
Did you think that your dad actually heard your voice? Like where you said hello and the phone hung up?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if because I don't know exactly when the phone call ended. I just know I said hello and then, you know, he wasn't, but I don't know if he hung up before or after, so I don't know. But yeah, I just know that what I'm left with then is, you know, this huge.
That must have been
a
sad moment for you.
Yeah,
you know,
big risk after all these years.
After all these years, you know, you decided to make a contact with Dad, and then this happened.
Yeah.
So sorry to hear that happened.
Thank you.
So going back to this big burden.
Yeah.
So you said it has been like draining your energy. Like you seem not to probably have the strength to do things.
Well, yeah, it's hard to once it gets in my head, then it's hard to. Well, like it makes it harder to try again, makes it harder to try again with my dad, makes it harder to, like when I got out, I had these plans to move. I was thinking maybe I could get a loan for something like some cheap land or something, like out in Maui, out Gippsland Way,
yeah,
something a little more affordable than here. But to be honest, like I start, like when I start looking for real estate or whatever, I just start thinking like, what am I thinking? I can't, like the same kind of feeling of like, I'm stupid for thinking it's gonna work out, and I just stop trying.
Yeah. And then this feeling, for how long has it really been there? Like the big weight, for how long has it been there impacting you?
My first thought is gonna say since my mom died, but it was actually before then, I think, because I ran away from a relationship before I should have, and so I was actually pretty messed up. I was in a pretty bad headspace even before my mom passed. Yeah, so it's been around for a while. Yeah.
That must have been hard for you.
Yeah.
So before this started happening, was there a time that things were really, moving well, things were okay for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's been some times, like high school was good, I was popular, I was doing sports, like, I knew my mom at least believed in me. I finished school, I got into uni, like things were going pretty well before everything went wrong with my relationship. And to be honest, like things were going pretty well in prison. Like I sort of was able to, I guess, compartmentalize and, like I'm doing the punishment for what I've done.
Yeah.
So I was actually able to, move forward and do some other things I was hoping to do, but I haven't quite figured out how to do that again since I've been out.
Yeah, so good to hear when you were in prison, you were able to you were able to do things, and then even prior to that, when you were much younger, you were popular, you did things, and then had good friends, good relationship, and all that. Yeah, so that shows like how resilient you are, being in prison, serving your jail term, and still be able to achieve some things for yourself, which is really, really good. And all those good moments, if you had to give it like a name, what kind of name would you be able to give it?
The good times.
So it's like, at this stage, the good time is there in one part of you, and then the big rock is there, trying to like compete with the good ones. Yeah.
I guess that's like the sort of accomplished version of me. I mean, like I was remembering my mom's voice last week when you asked me about it, and she used to, like when I was little, she used to call me Clever Clogs.
Oh.
So sometimes I think, like I thought about that when I remembered.
That would have been a good memory.
Yeah, like, I mean, I know it's dumb, but like, I'm like, oh man, good memories.
That would have been good memory.
So yeah, I just remember like when I was, God, I'm so sorry. When I was, I can't look at Ria. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, I just remember going forward. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Going forward in my degree in prison, I just remember my mom's voice. Like she knew that I could do things, and so yeah, I guess that's the accomplished part of the clever part, clever Tim.
Yeah,
know that at least you have
Yeah.
good memories of your mom, and then like
Yeah.
you know by mere thought of her remembering those memories, you know, you were able to laugh and then probably that put a good smile on your face, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
really,
it's
really
good to hear her voice in the
Yeah.
positive times. Yeah.
And then so how going forward, how do you want things to be for you,
2
with
minutes.
all this happening? Yep.
I mean, I want to get that place in Maui. I mean, I've got the reason why I thought about that is I have some, I know some people from high school that
Okay.
have lived out there. So I thought maybe now that I've got my degree, maybe I can get some work out there. Like I want to be that. I want to be that person that people respected, you know, like and when I was in custody, I thought there's a way I can get there, you know, but it's harder than I thought coming out.
So good to hear that you have these, like, you know, personal values, you know, you want to be respected, you still want to, like, have good relationship, and then, like, you know, bring back your old time, all those good times, yeah, which is really, really good, yeah. So, team, because of time, we'll be wrapping up here. So probably in the next section, maybe if you're able to come back in the next week, they will be able to explore further how to probably this feeling of guilt, how to like separate the guilt, the feelings, separate that thought from you, and then to say if we can, like, you know, how do I put it, like deal with it as an entity, you know what I mean? So that at least it will, so that those good memories will be able to, like, you know, come up. The thought of those good memories will be able to come up more often than the guilt, than the negative one. If that's okay with you.
I think my mom would like that for me. I think that's what she would want.
Yeah, good to hear that. At least you always really on those your sweet memories with your mom, which is really, really good.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for coming in today, and then
Thank you.
see you next week.
Yeah,
All right,
thanks.
thank you.